welcome back to the channel. Today it's the 2026 i7 xDrive60, sort of like the mid-range in the i7 lineup. It's the G70 chassis, same as the gas-powered 7 Series. One difference, other than the powertrain, between the gas and electric versions, it's the i7 does not have standard M Sport. All the gas-powered cars are M Sport packaged by default. The i7 is the place you can get one that is not M Sport. It's unusual because this is carbon black. And normally you need carbon black paired with the M Sport package, but not in the case of the i7. Let's begin up front with our headlights. Split design, which is consistent with the top line models X7, 7 Series. 8 Series doesn't have that split headlight design, but this is sort of like differentiating the upper class, if you will, BMWs. So, daytime lights up above, dual headlights below with a cornering light. The grille is all chrome here. And it does have the parking assistance camera, so it has parking assistance pro, but you must get either the premium or executive package. If you don't get either of those packages, you cannot spec parking assistance package as a separate option. It's really unfortunate because I think this car, being quite large, really does benefit from the parking assistance camera. So sensors are integrated into the grille. So this is the Driving Assistance Professional sensor. So you do get highway assistant on this G70. All right, so moving to the side, we got the style 906 wheels. Now these wheels give you roughly 300 miles of range on a full charge. See floating center caps. So battery size, roughly 101 kilowatt hours of capacity. You do get up to 2,000 kilowatts of charging, complementary charging through Electrify America, or 2 years, whichever comes first. Maybe it's 3 years. And out back, we've got i7 badging, giant roundel, which integrates the rear view camera, xDrive60 badging, very slim taillights, and lots of chrome accents, which may or may not work with the carbon black, depending on your taste. Obviously, there's no exhaust tips because it's a battery electric vehicle. There's that rear 3/4 view. Again, unusual to see carbon black sans the M Sport package. But it's one of the quirks you can get with the i7. Real nice hue of blue in there that comes out in sunlight. Otherwise, it's basically a black vehicle. Let's make our way inside, go over pricing options. Less moderately equipped i7. All right, so opening up, we have the Tartufo extended merino leather. I think it looks really well against carbon black. Upper portion door card feels like leather with some contrasting stitching. And then, not quite unique, it's also on the iX. Your seat controls are up here rather than on the seat bottom itself. Bowers & Wilkins is standard on the 7 Series, but you can opt for the Diamond surround sound system. This one does have that. Some Tartufo here in the middle of the door card. And not quite scratchy black plastic down below, but pretty nice setup here. And here are your standard seats on the G70. So really comfortable seats, as you'd expect. Lots of quilting, some contrasting stitching. Got no controls down here. All of the controls that are not on the door card are on the seat app in the iDrive. And BMW badging here on the door sill. All right, so in front of me, your standard steering wheel on the 7 Series. So I should say on the i7. So just a 2-spoke steering wheel. Left-hand side got controls for assisted driving and cruise control. So turning on the system here, up and down to the speed, setting the speed, and that can be either the speed limit detected, or you can set some plus or minus parameters on the speed limit, and then of course the mode button. Leather on the airbag cover. And from me, iDrive 8.5 live cockpit. Standard head-up display, and dashboard up here feels like leather, although it can be hard to tell sometimes. Rest of the curved display here, and the trim is the mirror oak high gloss trim. And you have a light bar here. Some controls for the vents, so open and close are here. Down below are the controls for where the air is blowing. Glove box button right there. More of the trim here in the center console area. You have a wireless charging tray right there. And so push it down to open, and you just tap it like that. It'll go back up. Then center console area, you have your drive selector knob, iDrive controller, and wheel for the volume, all in glass or crystal. All right, starting price of the 2026 i7 xDrive60 is $124,200. Paint and leather are included. You can also opt for full leather for, of course, an additional charge, or even individual colors, which will be running $5,500. Driving Assistance Pro for $2,000. Then $1,750 for the premium package. Everything else you see here is included. Until you get down to the Bowers Wilkins Diamond Surround Sound System. So this one is a little bit more expensive than usual. It does include a fourth dimension, is what they call it, for bass. So it'd be, you feel a bass in the seats themselves. Then we got wheel locks, all-weather floor mats, floating center caps, and first aid kit. All told, MSRP this particular example, $134,705. Estimated range there, so roughly 300 miles of range. All right, use a voice command here to open up the Sky Lounge. Open the sun blind.
Okay.
So as you may notice, this is unusual. It's the opposite way for most of BMWs. But you have LED Sky Lounge up there. All right, make our way to the back here. And then no comfort access to the rear doors. You also get the optional automatic doors. This one does not have it. And of course, the opening for the rear passenger compartment is quite large. And here's a view of the cockpit for the back seat. More of that Sky Lounge. Does not open, it's just a glass panel. And out back here are your vent controls. Knee room, leg room, crazy amount of space here. Back reach the front seats. You also have another USB-C charging port here, plus the travel and comfort system. A little pouch here for storage. Knee room. And then headroom. I mean, you really can't complain in the back of the 7 Series, unless you're maybe a Manute Ball. All right, and then controls for everything else can be done on the little touch screen here, basically like an iPhone controller here on either passenger door. And you can control lots of things. You can change the mode, change the music, change the temperature. And if this were equipped, it does have the theater screen controls, plus you also had the, if you had the executive lounge in the back, controls will be over on the passenger side, not the driver's side. So this seat can basically almost fully recline with that option. It is super comfortable back in the 7 Series. To get a chance to get chauffeured around in an i7 M70, super comfortable. Can't really complain about it, except I wasn't driving. All right, move to the back, and then we can use our kick to open. And as you expect, a very large cargo area. You can't fall down the rear seats, but you have a little luggage pass-through right there for perhaps your skis. And power tailgate, obviously standard on the 7 Series. Use our kick to close. All right, so being the i7 xDrive, that means it's a dual motor setup. So combined output, 536 horsepower and 549 torques. Plenty of power for this large 7 Series. But that's it for a quick look at another 2026 7 Series. We'll see you at the next video.